Vega Squadron's turn to ban.
Hello everybody and welcome back into the Captain's Draft 3.0 group stages presented by Dota Cinema and Moonduck TV. We are here with Vega Squadron versus Evil Geniuses in this best of 3. It is game number 2. EG absolutely trouncing Vega in game number 1 off the back of a Fear Riki support. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. If you missed it, you missed Fear. Go to town with Riki early on in the game. Play him like a bounty hunter and actually function better than a bounty hunter as well. Of course, my name is Mott, joined today by Pitmuckle, as well as, of course, Purge. How did you feel about that Riki pick? You seem to be excited about it the most, I feel like. Is that actually the case? Was that true?
Well, basically, when we first talked about Riki, Sunsfan was like, oh, dude, Riki is pretty good. I think we'll see him played, and I should talk the hell out of him. And then I went and actually played Riki a bunch, and I was like, okay, he's actually okay. He's not terrible.
Good. Yeah.
He's an all-right hero. He's not as good as Bounty Hunter is, but the kind of cool part is that he transitions pretty rapidly into somebody that actually helps in team fights, whereas Bounty, if you look at Bounty, like, he's great with levels, but you kind of need, like, 2,400 gold just to get a mech, and a mech alone is good, but it doesn't like win you team fights. So you could buy Dagon, you could buy Vlad's. Those items don't completely change team fights, but if Riki steps back for a bit and he farms and he grabs the diffusal blade, all of a sudden the team fight has changed massively more than something like a mech. And it's not just because of the diffusal blade charges, but it's also because the damage that you hit to people is pretty solid, because the diffusal actually gives you like 25 agi or 30 agi, and it gives you 25 mana burn. That's already like 50 damage, and then you get an extra like probably 45 from the backstab. So farming a 3,000 gold item actually really increases your damage with Tricks of the Trade. Yeah. So it's potentially something that's an alteration of the bounty build that can actually be useful. So I think Riki potentially does have some value. If your roaming goes bad, he's probably an awful hero. But But Fear did well last game, and it transitioned very nicely.
Nonetheless, he's banned out. Vega Squadron respected immensely enough to actually give it one of the 3 bans here in Captain's Draft. And Vega, they've got a great start to take this to game number 2. And I will say this much. Morphling is a fantastic hero right now in so many different ways. And Queen of Pain is also very good. So it's a great start for their draft. You see Evil Geniuses, they've got a tight hunter, but Morphling picked up here, Burge. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's going to reduce Morphling's damage since Anchor Smash reduces base damage and Morphling's base damage is so high. Tidehunter is a little bit weak to magic nukes, though. It's kind of one of the keys to beating him, so maybe Morphling will go more of a E-Blade build, especially with the Queen of Pain on the same team. And what a great support, man. If this was Captain's mode, people would be like, oh, they have Queen of Pain Morphling? Alright, Disrupt was the easy pick.
Enigma. So you could combo up with Static Storm on top of the Black Hole. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I thought they were going to pick Elder Titan, because that is available, and it's very good against Morphling. Because you could just reduce the hell out of his armor and magic resistance, which of course is, whatever, but it's the armor reduction that you're looking for. However, they could still pick it, but it would have to be in a different role, but I doubt they're going to play it in a 1 or 2 position, as Enigma is going to be the 4, Disruptor will be the 5, the Tidehunter will be the 3. Vega will go with the Dazzle, which will help the Morphling survive, maybe through that elongated damage of Ravage, Static Storm, as well as Black Hole. So there's a lot of teamfight ultimates, but Dazzle, he sometimes is the cure-all for a lot of these big ultimates, so we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of feel like EG, well, I guess they can't pick an A. I was going to obviously AA pick, but they've already got an Enigma jungle and a Disruptor, and they also have Tide offlane, so there's no way they can just do Enigma offlane. So I guess AA is just not going to get picked this game unless it is by Vega. But with Dazzle plus Axe in the game, it's going to be kind of hard for EG to fight early games. In the early game,
that's the dual lane right there. If they decide to go for it, you send somebody else with Morphling. You have Dazzle Axe running at you.
Pick the Abaddon to go with it. Dazzle Abaddon Axe.
That's even more disgusting. Dear God, do they have an Abaddon? There is an Abaddon in the pool. I guess you wouldn't have said it if there wasn't one, but that's frightening if they go for that. God.
There's actually a lot of good heroes in this pool. Still Gyro, Crobolus, Death Prophet. That is. Visage is okay. A is situationally good. Quite a few decent heroes. Sand King has been more and more popular lately. And Tinker.
And Gyro.
And the Gyro, okay.
This is an interesting lineup. There's a lot of damage in team fights, I think, for sure. A lot of magical damage early on here as well. Late game, obviously, we know what Tinker can do. We know what Gyro can do late game as well. But Morphling can take over this game for sure. And if Tinker gets caught, he can get a Ethereal Blade and brought down very easily. But it comes down to Sumail's play, I think, if he's going to be playing the Tinker.
I mean, EG just has amazing team fight. Gyro, Tinker, Enigma, Disruptor, Tidehunter. All 5 of those heroes have amazing ultimates, so I like the Brood pick because I think Vega needs to wreck their lanes really hard, and this is one way to do it, but I don't think this Vega Squadron lineup is going to fit together as well as the EG one is, but again, EG's lineup is going to be very level dependent and a little bit laning stage dependent. But Jaro's a good solution against the Axe Dazzle dual lane. They should be able to deal damage to that pretty easily, but I don't know, man. I think Tinker is going to be a fine enough pick against Queen of Pain and Morphling, and it's not like Vega has very good roaming either. It's also going to be a jungling Axe. So it'll be jungle Axe into ganking Axe, but if he doesn't get the kills off, it's really bad. Because Vega just doesn't have very good lane rotation options other than just like Queen of Pain, basically. Yeah. So I feel like they're going to get into a game where the game becomes a little bit passive in terms of farming, and EG is going to accelerate. And when they do take fights, they're going to wreck those team fights. So Vega really needs to win their laning stage, in my opinion, due to individual play.
We'll wait and see if that's going to be the case. It is going to be the Fear of Jungle Enigma. We'll see who goes where for Evil Geniuses. Arteezy's heading top, interestingly enough. All the way down bottom is going to be Vega, as they're going to make their way down with some 5-minute aggression into the enemy jungle. And Sumail is going to start out with a good old set of Null Tally, 2 Tangos, an Iron Branch, and a Fairy Fire as well. And we saw Tinker yesterday. I believe that was actually in Canada Cup, and it was Van playing it. No, it was not Van. It was who was it? It was Complexity, I think.
No, it was one of the Peruvian teams.
Okay, well I can't remember.
Wasn't it Elite Wolves that played?
Oh yeah, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. I'm losing it, man.
I think 2 days ago. Yeah, Elite Wolves played it like 2 days ago, and they ended up dying first blood on Tinker, but as a whole, they absolutely wrecked that game.
They crushed with it, yeah. I mean, he got his boost travel 11 minutes in. He was able to get in and out of team fights and go to work. And they also had the Lone Druid Bear, which helped him TP into a lot of situations, whereas that's not going to be the case. I guess you could TP into Eidolons, though, which makes it even better, actually.
All right, it's going to be a hard Enigma game. They didn't get spotted placing wards in the jungle, so there's no sentries on Fear here. He could go purchase them. He's got 300 in the bank. He's also going to deny from the top lane, but he will be slower in terms of jungling. Now, you can actually just do large camp and Ancients in the off lane, but then that means that Tidehunter gets a bit less out of his lane, and it's also very difficult to do the Ancients without losing your Eidolons, so we'll see if Fear can handle that.
Well, Universe is bottom, though, so he's going to be going solo. We saw this actually last series. It was Pycat versus, who was the Tidehunter? I can't even remember now for
who was
Control. That was right. I told you, man, I have the worst memory in the world. That was literally just an hour and a half ago, but like, well, whatever. It's still going to be, and Universe should do fine because we saw how good Anchor Smash was against the Spartalings, and this should inflate Universe's CS to a certain extent here if Matt goes in with those small Broodlings.
It's always fun to watch Tidehunter play against a Brood because he gets way more farm than Tidehunters normally get, and it's a different side of Tide that you don't get to see very often.
Sioma's going to go ahead and D-ward. He's got the Sentry. He saw placement coming out from PPD, so that's an early ward already taken care of by Sioma the Slayer. Nicely done. Fear has noticed that, in fact, this camp has been blocked. We'll see if he heads and gets that Sentry ward, but it looks like he's actually he picked up the early Sage's Mask instead, but I'll just go ahead and use the medium camps to farm up here. So no 4.5 minute level 6 coming out from him, more than likely.
Yeah, it will delay him slightly, but Enigma is still a very fast jungler, and all these other 4 camps are still open, so going to slightly delay his farm, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. If they would have blocked maybe this camp and this camp here, then they basically spread the camps out, but because all these camps are close together and it's a solo Tide, it doesn't even matter if he kills the small camp. I think he's still going to farm at full speed here, and I think Vega messed up a little bit by not possibly blocking another one of those camps.
How is this top lane going, though? That's the real interesting thing. Morphling has 2 last hits, but he does have the creep wave under the tower now, and look at Jaro coming. Arteezy just pops the flat cannon. There's the Thunderstrike. They're thinking about diving. His Rocket Barrage will go, but here's Solo coming in as well. Arteezy might feed away his first blood. He's got 3 uses of that wand. He's all the way in the tree line. They're going to try to eat his way out with PPD helping, but unfortunately was not able to do so for him. Pashi will find that first blood, so whatever issues he was having with farming, he's now going to rectify that situation by getting a first blood onto Arteezy.
Well, I loved Arteezy's move there. He basically cut trees so that he could do some easy flax on the whole creep wave and 2 heroes. It was very efficient, but because the axe happened to be there and happened to be ganking then, he put himself way out of position for that.
Oh, Sumail does not know that Solo has a invisibility rune, and if Solo is able to reach up to this level 3 and get call, which should happen here momentarily, he's gonna be fine.
I don't know, man. Like, Queen of Pain has no mana. He can't contribute to this fight at all.
The call will come through. He can try to get some right clicks up. There's the Berserker's Call as well. And when right clicks to do the job, if they're gonna die for this, the Fairy Fire will come out. Sumail should die here, but Solo will take a lot of damage. Top lane now, they're gonna go ahead and dive up for 9 Pasha, and Arteezy's looking for him. Rocket Barrage is about to fly. He's losing a bit of vision and a bit of damage because of that. So now on the other side, you can see there's the Thunder Strike coming through as well as the Poison Touch. PPD has to leave. He's got Kinetic Field. He will stay alive. What about Arteezy? He's looking for Pasha. He's going to go ahead and morph up with Strength, and he's just trying to get there. He finally gets that kill as there is no mana left in the tank, and Arteezy should be able to walk out and go back to work. And you see the Black-Headed Sealma is actually in trouble. He's got the Shadow Wave, but he doesn't have Grave up. Do they have Glimpse? The answer to that question is no, so they will not be able to secure that second kill.
Yeah, the heal there from Dazzle didn't quite catch on Arteezy, so no threat to his life there. Solo continues farming. That gank on the mid was actually quite good. That was a big kill for them.
What does he have? 7 last hits for
Sumail.
Sumail's actually having a very tough time here in this lane. Look at where he is in comparison to where no one is across the lane.
Space damage is a little bit lower. That might be part of it. But Tinker's still probably going to be fine. And if he blinks forward and uses daggers like that, it's very frustrating. Doesn't quite yet have his bottle.
Yeah, he really needs that. He's getting closer and closer. Yeah, he's just having trouble last hitting now, and it's going to continue to be that way. He could try to get Marches up here pretty soon, but he already went 2 points on Laser, 1 point on Heat-Seeking Missile, so I don't know, man. This is getting pretty tough here for Sumail. No one's playing this beautifully.
It's entirely possible he hasn't played Tinker in a while, honestly. Like, that's one of the things about Captain's Draft. You have to be ready to play just about any hero, even if it's a tier 2 mid, which I would say Tinker definitely is right now. But level 5 pick could be putting in points into March now. It's not too weird to see Tinkers do like 2 Laser, 2 Missile in the lane.
Yeah.
He does go 2 March.
Yeah.
That way they can still lane pretty well, but they also still transition to farming. It's just slightly delayed.
One way for Mag to be able to actually keep his Spiderlings alive is not go toe-to-toe with Universe, but instead cut the creep wave, which he's done pretty well so far, and Mag's actually had a great time. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're going to be called. There's going to be Sumail dying yet again as Solo comes in and finds a big pickup. That March will do a lot of damage, but it won't actually bring him down. You just noticed that happening. I saw the tail end of that fray.
Did he walk behind the Tinker? Is that what happened there?
I'm not sure, actually. I just saw the tail end of it.
Well, either way, that's huge kill there for Vega, and they also got the Gyrocopter on the top lane, so it seems the abnormal lanes for EG aren't quite working out. The double Gyrocopter kill now, they've only got 1 kill to their name.
Came from the rune. Okay. That's fair. That's a pretty good kill, too. Yeah, this is exactly what you were talking about, crushing the lanes, and this is exactly what's happening with the exception of bottom, which is going okay for both sides. The Universe getting plenty of last hits, and of course, you can see Mag, he's at the top in terms of CS, so he's got boots, he's got a Quelling Blade, he's got a Soaring plus a Sage's Mask for the start of a, well, hold that thought, Fear's gonna come in looking for a Dust, there's the Malphus coming through as well.
Mana for hole in 1 second.
He's got it now with the Soul Ring, he can use it here, and he's gotta get just the tail end. Universe has got Ravage, he might have to use it here. Nope, he won't. Fear will get the kill coming through with the right click as well as the Black Hole coming out. So first Black Hole is a success, and it's a pretty big kill at that for all 3 of those heroes, really.
Yeah, kills like that are huge. That was their solo farmer. It was the highest hero on net worth, so that was the most gold they could possibly get out of a kill. Really nicely done to use Black Hole for that.
And I'm sure they got a couple of the Spiderling kills too. I could be wrong, but
I would feel like Spiderlings would not be resistant to exceptional gravity forces, but you never know.
I mean, there's a chance, man. You don't know what spiders are like. Have you researched them? No.
They're very small, and usually small things are pretty resistant to gravitational forces, so maybe I'm wrong here.
I'll take your word for it. They could be Spider-Man. All right, well, JJ's calling you out again.
Fact. That's a scientific fact, dude. What? It's their...
Why are we talking so much about science? It's a Dota game.
Size and reference to the size of an atom. It is much more in their favor. That's what it has to do, man.
God. Surrounded by chemists at home, surrounded by intelligent people in Dota 2 cast. Dear Lord, Marxism strikes again. Tinker's about to be caught by Mag. Looks like it. Yeah, Sumail's dead. Jump in, screw pay. They've got the Sonic Wave. They don't really need it. Sumail's like, I can somewhat help. He actually will get a lot of farm from the Marching Machines, at least a couple of the Spartalings, but at least he's got his boots as well as bottle now, so that's good. But look at where he is in net worth, and look at where Arteezy is. Sure, you've got Fear and Universe farming, but that's it really for Evil Geniuses and Vega. They're crushing this, and they're going to find another kill on top lane as Arteezy will fall. They get the Poison Touch off the Shadow Wave and the waveform in for Pasha, and they start to get even further ahead for Vega.
I just love how Mag is playing this Broodmother game. You can really see the difference between how PyCap played and how Mag played it. He's making webs that go straight to the mid lane. That way they never really know where he is. He can cut creeps and he can farm jungle, or he can gank mid. It just opens up so many more possibilities that weren't there in the game when PyCap played. Now, the difference is also partially that the distance between the safe lane on Radiant is a lot closer than it is to be off lane on Radiant to mid. It takes more nets, I believe, if you're in the off lane.
Boom's
He
back.
might
They're
die
going to go
again.
ahead and dust here, and he's in some trouble. He's going to get slowed up now, and he's going to try to make his way out, but the gush will come through another slow as well. They'll pop the Midnight Pulse. Dust will wear out eventually, but not before he goes down to Fear's right-click and Malthus. And here we go. They're going to grab some of these Spiderlegs as PPD was about to get caught by them. And so he'll stay alive with, I think, a stick charge. He actually doesn't have a stick, but he stays alive nonetheless. And Arteezy will get a couple of these last hits as well.
Well, that works out pretty nicely for EG then. They're pressuring the Brood very well, but Arteezy is still behind, so...
Oh, guess what? Another gank bid, by the way. No one's going to jump in, and Sonic Wave will grab that kill again. This is really one of the worst games I've seen from Sumail. They have not enough mana for Ravage. He's got it now. They don't have Blink for another 5 seconds, but if he had popped that Ravage, he probably gets the kill, but he didn't know that cooldown was still there for the Quap, so...
I mean, Dazzle's on the high ground. You could have graved that. I don't know if he would have killed him there.
That's a good point, yeah.
I mean, earn Arcane Boots on Tide, bit interesting, but does give you a lot more mana.
Uh-oh, PPD Glimpse is going to have to go up, but he gets off the replicate just in time. Nice play from Pasha. Really well done to get that kill.
And that'll be the tier 1 tower. So Morphling is in a really good position. He's got 4 kills here. He has died once, but that's it. And he's way ahead of where Arteezy is. And we have seen Arteezy come back. He did a great job on Morphling in the last set of Captain's Draft. But the game is going to be a little bit harder, I think. Gyrocopter is not the same speed of farming hero as a Morphling is. He's still pretty rapid, but he has to spend his money on a lot of items that don't help him scale as the game goes later and later. By things like BKB, for example. So I don't know if Arteezy can be able to come back quite as hard as he did when he played Morphling the other day.
Well, it's not even Arteezy that much. It's also the Tinker's died 4 times. I think that's the biggest problem right now for Evil Geniuses. And here's the issue. So they had a ward up here, right here next to this camp. And it got dewarded instantly, so they didn't scout out that Invis rune early on. He didn't have vision over this top rune spot in the river in general. I feel like a lot of his deaths have become because of the fact that he didn't have vision there. And he's just not been safe. There haven't been TPs coming in. They don't have any defensive supports to keep him alive. They finally have gotten the mech coming in from Fear. That will keep him alive if he's able to TP in. But he just doesn't have farm purge. He's just not there in terms of getting last hits. It's really bad.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Uh-oh. All right.
I'm just thinking about science right now. I think JJ might be more right than me.
Oh my god.
Radiant's
You know, anytime you have to... Listen, even if JJ's right, you don't tell him that, because then you're inflating... He's like Berg in that regard. You just don't do it.
It's like the same thing as what we were talking about before. As you increase surface area, the weight goes up by a lot.
So he almost going to get caught. There's going to be the usage of the grave. He will end up dying here momentarily. How much damage is going to get done before he goes down? Heat-seeking missiles will fly. They've seen Mag. They're going to go for a black hole. Looks like the call down will fly in as well. Solo goes for the call. Black hole on it too. And now the Sonic Wave will come in. They will blow for easy, but this is still an okay trade so far. But Fear will end up falling. PPD and EG have dived too far. Solo, more clicking. He can't get it done. Solo will stay alive. Barely. 4 dead for the rest of Evil Geniuses. TPing out is going to be Sumail, luckily enough. But still, that is a hefty dive, which is that end up not being worth it here for Evil Geniuses on the Radiant side.
I mean, it looks so good with the black hole, but that Quap ultimate just absolutely blew up everybody on EG there. They had a pretty good lane stage with punishing the Brood, but like you said, Sumail has died so many times. He's bottom 3 net worth in the entire game. Tinker can come back, man. This hero can farm very rapidly, so even if they do take fights that are slightly disadvantageous, I think they can still win this. Because again, they got the team fight heroes. They used Black Hole, but they didn't use Ravage, so they can still fight now.
Yeah, they've got the Ravage up and ready to go. They're going to try to push in, put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower, but Sealma the Slayer is nearby with the help of Solo, who now has his Blink Dagger. There's a Yule's up for the Quap. They'll smoke up. They're going to try to find this mid fight as they've actually weaved Fear and Sumail and Arteezy and Universe. So 4 of the 5 heroes have been weaved. They'll continue the pressure, however. The weave will go away here in roughly about 10 seconds. But here we go, jumping. They'll call up into Arteezy. There's the Gush. They've got Ravage ready to go. Static Storms up on the deck. Can they bring down Solo? There's the heat-seeking missiles. They'll grab the kill. Nicely done. Call down will actually help them push forward here. They don't have creeps, but they're going to right-click this tower. They really want it. Now there's the Adaptive Strike on the Universe. They're going to march up, and the march will allow them to push in as well.
You know, I don't want to say RNG, but I feel like our Axe got a little unlucky there. That was like 7 creeps or something, and he only spun twice.
Here comes Mag. Glimpse back in. That'll be into Pasha. These freaking Spiderlegs going to come through. There's the Scream of Pain. Mag's going to get caught with Malphus. The Adaptive Strike onto Sumail. And now they're going to have to back away. All of Mag's Spiderlings now gone in the dirt. Pasha will take a heat-seeking missile to the face. He's now currently at half health. Mag will get away as well. And EG will stay alive, covering everyone's retreat. and that will provide them another tier 1 tower, and suddenly, it's getting a little bit better. It's getting just a little bit better for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, it's really hard to fight into Martian machines, and it's very simple for Tinker to cast that now. If Vega did have their ultimate ready when that Axe went in, I think they could easily won that fight, but with Axe feeding his life away, he thought he'd get some spins and a chop, didn't work out, and Vega doesn't the team fight win, they lose their tower.
RTZ will TP away as he knows Mag is probably right around the corner, smartly so. He's actually very close to finishing that Orc and Malevolence. The second Oblivion Staff is going to be next, but here top lane Fears might be caught out. There's a gang squad coming through. No one has the invis, rather Smoke of Deceit. The TP will come through. The Sonic Wave not quite there. He misses Fear. He blinks further into the tree line, and instead Fear smartly TPs away, not wanting to go down, but here we go. EG, a smoke of their own. They'll walk through this Observer Ward. I don't think it scouted out that Smoke of Deceit. It might have. Courier actually did scout it out, so that's really important. Good call, JJ. And they still have Ravage ready to go. This is going to be close. Pasha's going to walk up here.
They just have to do Ravage into Disrupt ulti, and they're going to be set. But I think PPD is going to show.
Yeah, he is going to show. Solo is going to get the spot up on PPD. Kinetic Field will fly. The Blink's up and ready in a couple of seconds. Pash will come in with a waveform Adaptive Strike. Can they fight this? The Glimpse back. Can he get the Static Storm off? The answer to that question is no. And will they continue to try to go here? For Evil Genius is not sure this is the best idea. They have the black hole if they want it, but it looks like EG will back up instead without the Static Storm ready to go.
You can maybe go
replicate.
Solo, but...
Jump in, the Yule is up on Universe. Call down will fly. He's got the Ravage. The call doesn't come through in time. Solo in trouble. They've got Black Hole. Can they get it off? The Midnight Pulse will come through. Waveform up. Great mech. Sonic Wave's already been expended. Black Hole inside the 2. Can they get anything done here with it, though? Anchor Smash will fly. No damage really done by Fear. No one coming in. Static Storm will fly. No one's caught. Heat-seeking Missile will go. They'll get the kill, at least under one. Pasha, very tanky. There's the Malphus. He's got Waveform. He'll try to get out, and looks like he will make it away just in time. But no, the Glimpse back comes through as well. He'll try to TP away. Centaur Conqueror, stop will go, and Pasha about to fall. Double kill for Universe. What a Centaur Conqueror stop coming out from RTZ.
Played that fight so well, man. That was amazing. As soon as the black hole came out, rather than running away, he just TP'd home, and he barely made it. He had less than 30 HP, and all the while he's healing up, microing the Centaur, and it paid off. They got the Morphling kill, and huge plays from EG.
Oh, RTZ will go down though to Mag, and that's a nice play, just being at the right place at the right time. The Broodmother finally gets involved and gets himself a kill, and they'll even get a high ground ward placed up as well. So RTZ, he does fall, but this is going to make some room for the rest of Evil Geniuses. Sumail has finished up his Boots of Travel, but they are still down 5,000 net worth, and Vega are still in a commanding lead here.
EG just made a great fight despite a bad situation there. PD died early, but I liked his positioning, but unfortunately for him, he got caught. It didn't quite work out.
Oh, the Courier gets destroyed by the Galling Blade from Solo. They know that there's a ward there somewhere. They ping here, but really, realistically, the ward has been placed here.
Did you see those bloody footprints? How does the Courier have so much blood?
I don't know, man, but...
It's like a bird dude.
Well, when you explode it with a giant chop to the head, I'm sure it'll produce maybe more than expected.
So you're saying the little blood he had, he just spread it a lot more vigorously.
I don't think it had a little blood. I think it actually had a fair bit, and you're not giving credit to how much blood that bird had. PP is going to get caught. There's going to be the usage of that Orc and Malevolence, the Shadow Strike as well. PP will more than likely fall. Great neck, actually. Now he's going to get Mag here with Morass like thinking Artesian will get the kill. No one has haste, and they can't quite find him. PPD does end up falling, however, as no one will pick up the kill. I think with the Shadow Strike, I'm not sure if he got like an extra right click. Okay, it was the Shadow Strike. Thank you, JJ.
The ward on the high ground here, they're going to have to tornado this to get the last hit.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah.
How do you shoot a ward on the top of a cliff? Sounds like...
You're in a gyrocopter. Well, let's just say...
bullets curve? Is that what happens?
Let's just say he can float up and down, even though the game isn't actually showing it because it's a gyrocopter.
Actually, that's a really fine point. The fact that he's in a flying machine, he should be able to raise his elevation a little bit.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
It's not a hover car or anything, even though it's big.
It looks like it, honestly, but no. This thing is actually so rickety that I wonder sometimes if he can actually float up and down or if he's just like chained to the ground because of his actual copter. But
Net worth's looking really good for the Dire team. Is this Scotty or no? What is it about? Oh, I'm sorry. It's not his ultimate orb. I was like, what?
That is Pasha's. That's the full Lincoln's coming out here pretty soon. As soon as he gets that recipe for the Morphling.
It's going to be very nice for him. Stopping laser alone is a lot of damage mitigation. Glimpse, it's going to stop as well. Those are two huge abilities. The only thing that would be a little bit of a waste is Gush, I guess. But as a whole, this Lincoln should be really useful on Morphling. Hopefully the right item to pick up first.
Smell is starting to catch back up, and he's going to still have some trouble until he gets up to that point dagger. When he gets that blink, this game gets a little bit easier for Evil Geniuses. Yeah. So,
and they still have really weak disables. Like, they have a lot of heroes that can close the gap to him, but guaranteeing the kill is a little bit harder. They have plenty of burst damage, obviously. Doing Orchid into maybe a Axe Chop is a good solution.
Ooh, Glimpse back.
Other than that, that's about it.
Static Storm, they're going to find this kill. They've got Ravage. They might have to use it here. Yeah. Oh, they get the Grave off, though. Heat-seeking missile will fly through. He'll jump away with a blink, and it looks like he will survive. They have a Glimpse back up here in 6 seconds, but they're not really there in time to get it. So that's 2 ultimates expended for that attempt at a kill.
I think Universe actually could have gotten that if he used his Urn aggressively, but he forgot to use it, I think. The Quap lived with about 70 HP, and she bottled a little bit there, so it could have interrupted her bottle.
I think if you're Vega now, you probably fight, right? Like, okay, well, 2 ultimates down. Let's just go. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to head bottom at the very least.
I think they will, yeah. Their net worth's very high. I mean, there's still Black Hole, and the Black Holes have been really good this game. But I think they could definitely fight here. Swap ulti is the big one. That's a huge amount of damage for team fights. As long as the Brute is in the area as well, then I think they can definitely fight.
Wait and see. As RTZ and the rest of EG will get back to farming. RTZ's done a great job catching up, and it looks like he's going to have a full Yasha now. His SNY close to completion. Top lane's getting pushed, and he's still behind the Morphling. No surprises there, as the Morphling had a great start. His full Linkage is now completed, which is pretty big, but there's still a lot of stuff that will go through that. Like, all of the AoE ultimates. Like, really, what does this stop? Gush, Laser, Glimpse, Thunderstrike, Malefice. It does stop a lot, but...
Yeah, a lot of those are really important, especially the Glimpse is the big one. What about Homing Missile? Stops Homing Missile.
Yeah, good call. Does he have it skilled up? He doesn't. Haha, no skill for Gyrocopter to have Homing Missile.
Lincoln's wasted.
Yeah,
Axe is going to catch 2 male. I don't know if he can kill him, though. This is just really dangerous.
Laser? If he had another March, he would get this kill. Oh, Kinetic Fuel will come out. Static Storm solo. Sonic Wave, they will get that kill, but can they get more? Heat-seeking Missile. Last right click. The Thunder Strike. The Glimpse back. They can't get it done. The Urn will kill him, though. He has no stick charges. He's bottled up, Fido, and he will not go down. Not yet, anyways. He will survive. While that's all happening, Roche will be taken by Vega. Oh, huge play coming out from Vega to get those 2 kills and not lose a single hero in the process. And that'll almost provide no one his Aghanim Scepter.
That's such a big gank from Solo. Like, if he gets ahead here and he farms really well, which he has been 2-1 and 7 on his Axe, he's just gotten stuff done, and it's going to allow him to continue punishing the Tinker. But if this game was more equal and Tinker was ahead of farm Axe, then there would be very few heroes on Vega that could punish Tinker. But they just keep staying ahead of him. He's still bottom 3 net worth on Tinker.
Yeah, that can still change, but Sumail really needs to get this blink very soon. He's going to have it. But even with that blink, if he gets jumped on by now, an Aghanim Scepter from no one, he will almost certainly die. 440 damage is not something to scoff at, so that's going to be difficult. Fear, he's got his Guardian Greaves. Oh, there's a fight breaking out mid, it looks like. There's the call down coming through. We'll clear out most of the Spider Lanes. Pasha will take a Thunderstrike. He's got the Lincoln Spear. The Glimpse back will bring him maybe an inch onto the high ground, but that's about it. Alright. They've got TP for Fear. Will they defend this, though, is the question. Vega's going to push this in.
I mean, I think EG definitely will. They've got Ravage again. They've got all their ultimates except for Call Down they just used.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Soul's almost got his Aghanim Scepter as well. I don't know if you... I'm not entirely sold on the Ag's first choice. I think it's kind of a good choice because of the fact that...
Oh, he's going to beat Gibby. He just bought a Mithril Hammer.
Okay, I think that's a better choice, honestly. Like, if he gets Ags, it slightly increases his kill threshold, and that's good, I guess. You could also argue that if you have Ags, you can use Chop offensively on a 6-second cooldown for damage and stuff, but I just don't think the Ags is very good on Axe. The best thing about it, maybe in this game, is just the general HP, which is good against nukes. I think BKB is just by far the better choice. Like, he doesn't have to worry about Laser Missile, Magic Damage, Glimpse, all that good stuff.
No one's about to get ganked here. I believe he does have no ages. He's going to use it. The Black Hole will go. March will come through, and no one is, I think, probably going to live out of this. They have glimpsed back. The PPD who's not in range. That's a Black Hole expended for nothing. It felt like Sumail was not ready for that engagement. He didn't have his March up. If he had put the March up before the Black Hole, maybe they could have gotten that kill. And PPD wasn't there either. So Fear, I think, jumped the gun a bit on that initiation.
That already needs to have his Laser Missile ready, so he can Laser Missile, rearm Laser Missile. That's the only way they get that kill.
RTC going to work on Solo. He actually might be in trouble here. Rocket Barrage is back up again in 1 second, and Solo will probably fall to the right click of RTC. Nice solo kill there coming up with the S&Y, slowing him down with the main proc. Black
Yeah,
Candle goes well.
And he had haste. Like, he's just all around very tanky at this stage. His armor's extremely high. That means if he finds Axe in a 1v1, even if there's enemy creeps there, he can easily take him. Axe is going to start scaling down a little bit from this.
Yeah. He might not die if he had that BKB, but now they're instead looking for PBD. Of course, if you try to glimpse, there's the Lincoln Sphere up and ready to go. And Pasha doing the smart thing, building into the Ethereal Blade. No surprise there. PBD will try to TP out. No one actually can't get there in time. It's pop up the Ul Scepter. He goes for the screen, but he won't find anything. So, okay, good play, good play. Universe building into a point booster, interestingly enough. Is that Nags?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an Eggs. It's really good against Broodmother if you think about it, because it turns your Gush into AoE, and it puts it down to a 7-second cooldown. So you can just do a Gush with an Anchor Smash. Every spider dies. And he's got a Blink Dagger as well, so this is actually really threatening if he finishes it. And as a whole, Midas armor is pretty good against Morphling. It's very good against Queen of Pain, whose armor is a bit low. If you can apply that in AoE, I think it's a great choice. He's going to run out of... He's going to have some mana problems when he grabs it, because you end up casting Gush so much more often than you normally would. But he's going to earn as well, so he's got a little bit extra here.
That's what I was thinking. 9 possible Sphere's been broken. He's going to go ahead and wait for him and replicate out. It looks like they were setting up for a gank, and they couldn't quite find it. And of course, without Black Hole, it's a little bit harder too, but... That's really the big thing. I think they really need to have Black Hole ready in order to be able to take some of these engagements. Uh-oh, Fear? Okay, no, it's just a lot of Spiderlings nearby. I don't think they're going to try to go on him, however. They need to gem too. That's another important fact, I think, for Evil Geniuses. But for Vega, I feel like with this Aegis, they might need to get something done here. They have it for another moment or two longer. Once they get Shotgun, they really want to try to... Oh, God, PPD is dead.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, might go down. There's going to be the Guardian Greaves, and that is a lot of Spiderlings going to Artesian. Sumail will clear out the rest of the creep wave. Or not.
Yeah, Meg played that really safe. He gave him like one little love tap, nuked him, and ran. I love this brute set. I love the icons.
They know where Sumail is. They've weaved him. He's going to blink out. He's going to try to TP away. But now mid lane, RTZ getting caught by Mag. He'll just TP away, no basher. Oh, just kidding. There's a blink kid. The Ulicentra will come out. He's in trouble. Sonic Wave will fly. And RTC will fall as he's too far across the river. It's too aggressive. But Solo's going to get caught now. No Sonic Wave available. They'll jump it anyways. PPD about to fall and looking to get off the stack. Storm couldn't quite find it. They'll lose too quickly. Vega get off a great fight. They're looking for more. Universe is going to get caught. He's got Ravage. He'd rather not have to use it. They have Black Hole up in 16. Heatseeking Missile will fly. It'll hit up into Solo. There's a decent chunk of damage coming in as well. Is going to be Mag. From the backside, halves his BKB, but it's actually not on him. But in his stash, so getting caught again. Sumail looks like he might fall. No one. Ravage comes through, doesn't hit into no one. Solo will fall. Mag's low. Black Hole Solo onto him. No pun intended. Pasha's gonna jump in. He doesn't have Aegis anymore. And this 2 for nothing turns actually into a 2 for 2 with some really big team fight ultimates. But those are big kills going the way of Evil Geniuses.
There's just an incredible amount of black holes that we've seen in this game, and almost every single one has gotten them a kill. The only one that hasn't is maybe the one Quap top. So Fear's been playing an amazing Enigma here. He's making great decisions, great Ravages as well out of Universe, just all around great team fights from EG. So despite them being pressured very effectively and getting punished, they're still turning things around a bit.
Here's the thing, though. There's so many BKBs about to come out for Vega, and that's going to be so difficult for EG to deal with. Ravage, not going to do much. Obviously, when you have a BKB up ready to go, and it's going to be up on, I believe Pasha's building his. I might be wrong. Let's see. Solo has one coming out. They've got no one building a BKB. He's got an Ogre Club now. Mag has his BKB. The only one that doesn't have it that's a big core is Pasha, and I imagine later on down the road he can build into one. Not sure if he needs to, and he's really close to that shotgun, so he's definitely going to finish that off first.
I mean, regardless of these BKBs coming up, I think EG can still defend from pushes, which is the important part, because BKBs are an item that lets you fight team fights with more advantage. But if they can't even get their creeps high ground to take towers, and EG doesn't get engaged on, then they don't have to take those 5v5s. I feel like they have a couple heroes where they can kind of push and prod and maybe not get initiated on. And if they do, then maybe they have some solutions. But as long as they don't let Vega force the team fights and then use BKBs to their advantage, then EG is going to be fine. So it all comes down to the initiations, really.
Right. Blink Black Hole is available for Enigma, but the Black Hole down for 100 seconds. Vega, knowing this, will go ahead and smoke up and try to find a pick off with none of the team fight ultimates ready, and Pasha also getting up to that Ethereal Blade now. And they'll TP in mid. Sumail and Universe nearby. They have good vision here with his Observer Ward coming out. And everyone else is top. PPD's trying to split push, and he's pretty low in terms of net worth, but Siama's going to come through with an Invis rune. Now the jump in Scream of Pain. The call is up as well. Universe looks like he might fall. The call down will try to cover him. Sonic Wave will fly through as well. Gets forced to the low ground. There is no black hole. Solo will pop to BKB. Now Orchid comes out. Arteezy doesn't have his either. I think it might be flying out. Jump and call will fly through. Mag going to work. There's the Shadow Wave. Now another BKB flies in as they don't want to get ravaged. They thought it might be back up. The Universe jumps in, only to get destroyed by Mag. Not dead yet, however. They'll lose just the one currently, but actually Universe flies through as the Ethereal Blade comes out from Pasha and says, no, sir. Now, Fear walks back to the high ground for some reason and gets absolutely destroyed. Obliterated even. It's a lot of blood through.
That one was like clearly Vega outplay. They had some great initiations there, and they chased them down appropriately. And like you said, Fear definitely turned around. I feel like that was maybe a miss micro out of him. I don't see any reason that he would have ran in back in there. So I have a feeling he just was trying to move Eidolons next, so he moved his hero or something. But great fights there from Vega, especially the Mag is so conservative when he plays Brood. He has all these cases where he could potentially chase, but plays it safe instead. Sumail's getting kind of low
Wave,
here.
Ethereal Blade,
Wow.
he installed a 9 posture, just goes all the way in just to be able to pick up that kill. And that's now the 4th hero dead, and this is going to be Vega pushing in to the tier 2 tower. They want to even this up. It was looking pretty good for Evil Geniuses, but now, and they're in a situation where they might just lose a Rax altogether, or at least a tier 3 tower. Black Hole's back up, Ravage is up and ready to go as well, and BKBs, some of them are still about to come off cooldown here, but there are a few that are, of course, still down. We'll wait and see if they keep going, and it looks like they will back up, and I think that is the smart play for Vega. To back up, maybe take Roche here in a moment when it's back up. It's actually going to be in a minute 45 before it is. Still, though, good fight for them.
Yeah, they need their core items up on EG, basically. They need a BKB on Enigma, they need Arteezy to finish his Butterfly, so the damage of Vega is a lot more limited. And they need to have this Ags on the Tidehunter as well. They have a couple items that are going to massively increase their effectiveness in taking little skirmishes like this. Same goes for Sumail as well. He's got a Mystic Staff right now. He'd love to have Ags, but right now he's constantly the target. He's here 6 and 8 just because Vega's been doing such a great job of focusing on him.
Yeah, and I like the idea from Vega to back away and not take a fight. They know that EG are looking for something with all of their ultimates. Their BKBs are now back off cooldown, so if Vega do get jumped, they can pop those BKBs and get ready. And of course, Queen of Pain was looking to get hers as well. Now she's got it. She can sell her wand or Bottle or something. And it looks like it's going to be the wand. Has the BKB now, and that's a 3rd here with BKB. The 4th one, inevitably, probably going to be the 9 posture, but he is going to be building up at least to Yasha first, probably into a Manta style. But there is a push coming out from Evil Geniuses. We'll see if they can get at least a tier 2 tower out of this. And maybe head down and contest Roche as well.
Gonna see if he wants to snipe somebody top with the Dazzle Illusion. Jump in at any moment and do the E-Blade combo.
Yeah.
EG just doesn't have very good solutions against it.
Until they get some BKBs. But even then. Right now, Arteezy's probably going to be the only one that will build a BKB this game, and still we don't even know if that's going to be the case. But he does at least have his Butterfly coming out within the next, like, 3 creep waves or so.
I mean, Butterfly's going to be good against Morphling, kind of, but there's still a lot of nuke damage from Morphling. There's still a lot of nuke damage from the Queen of Pain as well. So the Butterfly will be really good against Brood, but not really that many other heroes. I'm not entirely sure if the B-Fly was the right item, but in that same vein, if he goes Butterfly, I feel like his farm's going to be a little bit more limited. He kind of needs BKB and he needs Butterfly to be really survivable.
He's going to have the Butterfly coming out right now. Mag and No One are both mid. They're ready to go. Mag has picked up the BKB like we talked about. Also 2,000 gold on top of it. So he's kind of slowed down just a fair bit, but not too much. And here we go. Sioma's going to go ahead and scout at this Roshan. And Pasha's going to jump in, and this should die very quickly. The amount of damage Pasha pumps out. 251 plus 24. Because guess what? He's a Morphling. That went full agility because he has an Ethereal Blade and a Yasha. Eventually he can pick up a Scotty or something and be a bit tankier, but for now he's just going to go with the Aegis. That'll provide him the tank that he's looking for. And that would be a free roast for Team Vega.
Hypothetically, he could just get... I guess they don't have that many stunts on EG. I see the only way that Morphling is going to get wrecked here is if he gets, like, ravaged into a Disruptor ulti. So I think it's pretty safe, actually, this game to be sitting on 1 strength. There's not that much burst damage on EG just yet.
Right. It sounds like he's died that much.
Hex.
How much? He's died, what, twice? That's it. So yeah, he's fine. Sumail, not so much.
He's been playing quite well. Sumail still trying to catch up. He's at 1700 gold. Needs like 3k to finish his Hex. Yep, no Void Stone or anything yet either.
Yeah, he's getting there, but not quite. He gets that Hex. This game could maybe turn drastically. EG are going for Smoke. It is going to be 3. No Universe Tide with them, which could combo pretty effectively as he now has the Aghanim Scepter. They're going to find No One. The Black Hole comes out as well. That is a dead Queen of Pain. They drop 2 ultimates, 3 ultimates, obviously. Artesis doesn't count that much, but the Black Hole Static Storm, boy, did it bring him down. Now Sioma getting caught out. There's going to be the glimpse back. He's going to go ahead and grave himself. They're going to dust him up as well as he's got the Glimmer Cape, and he will be the second to fall. Solo looking to jump in. He's got his newly minted Aghanim Scepter plus BKB, and all of a sudden, AG are going to try to force a buyback here, coming out from no one. Down the bottom.
This is looking good.
Mutton Hag's going to work on his interior. Oh, that gush comes through, and he's got it back up in 4 seconds. Top lane, Solo will grab a kill, and Artesis is about to fall. The Eul's will come out. That will take him down. It'll do 50 damage. Or actually, not enough, actually. I think it was 5. Just kidding. Double kill comes up from Solo in. There it is.
Eul's... Does it do 5? No, it's 50. Does 50.
Okay, I was right. I thought it would kill him.
Yeah, me too, actually. I was a little surprised it didn't. But, like, that's the issue. He's got Butterfly now, but Morphling just uses the combo and he goes from 100% to, like, 10% or something like that.
Right.
It's way too much damage. The only solution is, like, a Blink Dagger to dodge the E-Blade or the Adaptive Strike, or to get a BKB.
Plus the one bought back there, so that they at the very least, they did force that out. Oh, Universe, you're probably dead. He's got a force step. He's going to have to use it here. He'll force himself closer to the base, not up to the high ground. He's got Blink in 2. Now the BKB will go hooky. Eul stuff. He's got Blink in 3. It comes back in. Universe still probably going to fall here. There's the Sonic Wave, which will bring him down. Nice play from Vega to get it done. And they're looking to crack the base wide open now with Artesis still dead for 22. With no buyback, no Black Hole. They've got Ravage, but Universe is dead for 60. Jump in, call. Sumel's going to get caught. Boy, is he dead. They even get off the beautiful Hero Blade, and he'll have to buy back. But this is going to be more than likely a rack spell. Glimpse Solo back. He's going to get the Glimmer Cape pop. There's the Malphus. The right click, they get these homing missile. The Static Storm will come out as well. Pasha still has that Aegis. He takes a lot of damage. He's going to Strength Morph. He's going to get graved up as well just in time. He's going to break the Lincoln Sphere. He's going to jump in. There's the Adaptive Strike as well. Pasha will get brought down, but that's just the Aegis now. Gems up on the deck. It looks like Artesis will pick it up. He's going to try to go toe-to-toe with Pasha as he goes ahead and replicates out. His Solo will walk away as well. That should be it.
Okay, so if you use Replicate now and you die, it doesn't go away even if you have Aegis. That's interesting.
That's pretty nice.
Makes it really easy to escape with Aegis, that's for sure.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Solo.
Artesis and EG are on the chase. Call down will miss. Actually, he did hit just barely. The Rocket Frogs will fly. The Glimmer Cape comes out. They have the gem. Gets graved up nicely. He's got Blink up to 2. Can they hit him? And he's about to blink down. He will. He actually makes it out in time. Meanwhile, Sioma's going to go ahead and TP away. Can they both get out? Taker does get the kill onto Solo. They do not get Sioma, however. And they're going to have to go back and defend their bases. They lost a melee Raxman and a ranged Rax down bottom. They're losing buildings left and right, and EG are barely hanging on by a thread here, Bruce.
Yeah, they're doing a good job pressuring Vega as Vega is retreating, and they're getting some of those kills, but going down Rax is not good. Their range barracks on the bot lane is gone. Their melee barracks on the mid lane is gone. This just gets more and more scary, and they don't have a very good catch still, and we still haven't seen Sumail massively contribute to the game.
Yeah.
He just keeps getting a little out of position. When he died mid to the Axe call, that's just a mistake you can't let happen.
Yeah.
He's so far behind, he needs to just sit back and wait for the pressure and get some experience from getting hero kills.
Oh, that's Sonic Wave. They're going to have to pop the Guardian Graves, and even then, they're not going to get topped off. They'll take the Tier 2 tower, and they're just trying to find any semblance of farm they can. But that's just a big issue with what's happening in this game. No one jumps in, pops a Sonic Wave, and there's like the Ethereal Blade combo coming out there, and just one hero is dead after that. And now a 20,000 net worth advantage for Vega, and it looks like they're getting very close to tying this series up at 1 apiece, and boy, have they played well. The draft was good. We talked about Sumail's issues. EG themselves have gotten caught out a couple of times besides Sumail, so it's still very tough for them to try to find a fight or two or trying to find any semblance of farm. Now, there's a BKB and a Man-Style picked up for Pasha. There is Sumail's Hex, and that might be what gets them at least a little bit back in this game, but right now it feels almost impossible here for this Radiant squad.
I mean, they have 4 BKBs already. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Like, Tinker has his Hex finished, but normally you're expecting this somewhere around the 20-minute mark or somewhere in the mid-20s. It's a whole 10 minutes delayed after that. So he's got to wait, either initiate first, or he's got to wait until the BKBs come out. And even if he does initiate first, it's not like he can just stand there right next to the person and continue chain hexing. They're going to get backup from the rest of the Vega Squadron lineup. And it's here. The Hex is finally here. Sumail will be able to contribute, but it might be too late.
Mag is nearby. He's going to send some of his Spartalings in. They've got sentries. They're going to see it up, and they're going to anchor smash as much as possible. And Mag is, of course, close to the high ground here. They're going to head towards top, but they're getting scouted by these Spartalings that are still alive. And Solo's going to pick up either a Shiva's or a Soul Cuirass. Either way, it's fine. Now, Pasha looking for this kill. Can they find it? He just replicates out. They needed the black hole first, so they couldn't quite get it. And even then, might not have gotten the kill.
I wonder if that was a Lincoln's mistake. It looked like they used the Hex to break Lincoln's there.
Yeah, perhaps.
It's not like they had to do probably Glimpse at the same time. Should be Glimpse breaking it, followed up by the Hex. If they do that, they can chain Hex him and he dies.
Ooh, they see Mag, I think. Well, he's going to walk through the Sentry. Arteezy's going to get caught top lane. Sonic Wave, he gets blown up immediately by the Ethereal Blade. And they're going to find Fear with the Call of the Dunk as well. One will have buyback, the other will not. And they just keep finding these kills, and Vega are running over EG now. All they have to do is clear up these last couple of buildings. We're going to see a game 3. The Shiva's Guard is now done for the Queen of Pain, which means it will be more than likely a Silk Cuirass. Oh, actually, it's a Lotus Orb, excuse me. They actually completely forgot about the third option now.
It's just too hard for Arteezy to stand up to the Morphling. The Morphling counters Arteezy's build right now due to all being Magic Burst. The Tinker is countered by all the Disables and all the BKBs. Just they have all the solutions against the EG lineup right now. And the massive team fight they had just wasn't enough to keep them ahead.
Yeah, it was kind of the opposite way for game 1. EG was able to counter a lot of Vega's lineup. But this game, they play outstandingly. They're going to head in mid. They're going to finish off this range racks. Pasha will go ahead and deal with this tier 3 tower. Arteezy's forced to buy back, but Marsh will come in. Ravage will come out. It'll hit onto 2 nicely, but where's the follow-up? They get the Hex up on a solo on the other side. Call down. Pasha will probably replicate out after finishing off this melee racks. He's actually going to get graved up as well. So Ravage used for pretty much nothing. Nax low, jumping. Here comes no one. Gush flies out. There's the Sonic Wave keeping these low. He'll fall, and they want to keep going. Arteezy in trouble. Blink. Calls up and ready to go. The dunk. Agate Tempter will go to work for solo. Up in the air, the Yule Tempter will catch on to Universe. He'll get forced away by himself. Jump in. Looking for a black hole. He'll find it just on the Mag. And Solo Hexed up and Universe getting chased down, and there is the GG. The chop will bring down Universe. Already disconnected from the game. Arteezy showing his disgust with game number 2.
And Vega just played this game really solid. I think the real standout players this game were Solo getting so many ganks on the mid lane. It allowed the co-op to transition into easily solo killing Sumail. If they didn't get those kills off, this game would have been entirely different because EG still made great plays around the map in the early game, and they utilized their ultimates really well. Fear got a lot of good kills. Universe ravaged appropriately. I think Arteezy played pretty well considering they had a dual off lane. I mean, obviously PPD got punished a lot, but that's pretty standard for Disruptor. So I don't really see that as that weird when they have that many aggressive heroes like Brood, Morphling, Queen of Pain. All those heroes can kill Disruptor pretty easy. So I think they just needed to make sure that Sumail did a little bit better, and the ganks from Vega were just a little bit too good, and it didn't work out. And that's one of the issues with doing an aggressive duel, and you can't take one of the supports off the lane and go sit in mid. And the same issue with having Jungle Enigma. That's hero resources that are somewhere else and aren't going to be protected mid.
Well, this is going to force what we wanted. We are going to see game number 3 between Vega Squadron and Evil Geniuses, and I'm very excited to see it here. For Captain's Draft 3.